Hi everyone, Julia here recording this, March 26, 2025, and oh my gosh, if it didn't happen to me, I would not believe it. But last Friday, came down with a migraine. I've never had one before, and it was super intense. And what happened is when I walked into the supermarket that I usually go to, I got this horrible pain, mostly in the back of my head, but throughout my whole head. And as I kept navigating through the grocery store, things just got worse and worse. I got nauseous and had to go quick to the bathroom, and then I just had to leave the store. And I was seeing all these wavy things, couldn't focus, so I had to wait a few minutes in my car before I was even able to drive home. I came back home, just went to bed, and dealt with all the migraine symptoms that you usually hear about: nausea, headache, loud noises, sensitivity to brightness, the wavy eye thing. So yeah, that was pretty intense. Lasted all day, all night, into the next morning, and then I was better. So in the meantime, one of my friends, Elizabeth, who's part of our weekly chat group, told me about EMF, or electromagnetic hypersensitivity. And I've heard about that before, and I've always just been, nah, people are just imagining it, whatever, like some people can feel when they walk by 5G, that kind of thing, or if they're next to power lines. So I just pretty much wrote it off. I was even saying stuff like, oh yeah, EMFs can be positive for us, they could be helping us out, helping us evolve. So I was just like, okay, that's interesting. So that happened on Friday. Today's Wednesday. No, that happened on Saturday. Today's Wednesday. And I went back to that same supermarket, which has lots of shops, and there's like these bright red lights coming out of cash registers and different machines, probably everywhere it's like that. And they have Wi-Fi there that they, that their customers use. There's a little cafe. And I thought maybe on Saturdays, just because I went when it was busy, and I usually go when it's really slow, and maybe it was the EMS, but it was also due to the fact that there were so many people there with their cell phones. So I didn't think it was necessarily just something going on in that building. And so when I walked in there again this morning, it hit me again. And I couldn't believe it. Wow. I walk in, the same headache hit me in the back of the head, real intense. And I walked a little further, and I was like, no, I gotta leave. This is the same thing that happened last time. So I left. I drove to another garage and another grocery store to do my shopping at. And I noticed when I pulled in that garage, I was seeing the little wavy things again, like I did when I had all the migraine symptoms. So I waited out in the parking garage for probably about 15 minutes till the wavies went away. I did have some nausea, but the headache went away right away when I walked out of that building where the other supermarket is. So I know for sure it has to do with the electromagnetic smog there, whatever you want to call it, the Wi-Fi, all the other things. And so now, even though I used to go to that store 2 to 3 times a week, I can't go there anymore, which is fine. I go to different ones. But it's so strange. And I have cleaned up my diet recently. So I was like, well, did that make me more susceptible? What's going on? So now I've started researching this. And I think a lot of people often that have these chronic symptoms that nobody can ever really pinpoint, it could be due to this electromagnetic hypersensitivity. And there's even some therapies for it. One is called auricular cryotherapy, and it even helps people with trauma. So now I'm going to be looking into that and finding other ways to remedy the situation. I also read that vitamin D and zinc deficiencies can play a part. So I'm looking into ways to naturally boost those. But wow, just wow. I'm still just flabbergasted by it all, because I've always, like I said, I'm just like, yeah, right. Those aren't affecting anyone. People just imagining that. And, it has come out that it is an actual pathological condition, even though, of course, at first, they always thought it was just psychosomatic. So, and I know right now, I've even talked about it in this Facebook group where it's about natural hygienic diet. It's a support group, and even people there aren't buying it. But when you live through it, you believe it. So yeah, wow, this stuff's real. And maybe they changed something in that store. Like I said, maybe it's because I cleaned up my diet, and so now I'm just like, things go straight through, or who knows what. But for whatever reason, I now have this hypersensitivity to electricity or electromagnetism, which includes Wi-Fi and other things. So I'm really going to be mindful, keep the Wi-Fi off at home a lot when possible, definitely turn it off at night, and just figure out other ways to remedy this situation. Because, I don't know, there's going to be places that I can't go into, and when I say I can't go in there, I can't. I mean, it was just debilitating, the migraine that I had. And I never had one, and I just looked up migraines and, saw that I had all the symptoms. And, migraines are one of those things that they can't really find a physical cause for them. So, yeah, that's where I am now. And I'm just happy to know what's going on. So now I can start remedying the situation and hopefully get my health back one way or another. So yeah, I just wanted to share that in case anybody else out there has this type of situation. And I'll post a couple of videos in the description that talk about what this is and how it works. And, they start talking about ways to combat it. So yeah, just wanted to share that because, like I said, I'm still flabbergasted over it all. Okay, everyone, thanks for listening. Hope you have a great morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. Remember to stay focused on the good and how you want things to be. Help others if you can. Ciao, ciao.